Good morning. Oh, it'll let me see comments this morning. Good morning, everybody. Let me get started here. Give everybody a minute. Good morning. This is Stacy. We are Loving My Veteran, and this is Walking in My Shoes this morning. I keep forgetting to put all of the normal stuff out here. I'm not a paid counselor. We're not paid counselors here, so if you need professional help, please seek out and get it. And again, everything is copyrighted to Loving My Veteran. So, good morning. Today's topics, yeah, that's going to be fun. It's called Stacy's Private Soapbox. I figured it's my page and I'll bitch if I want to. That's the topic of today. But before we do that, please don't forget that at 10 o'clock there is coffee, conversation, and collaboration with our friends at Behind the Service Podcast. I'll post that link in just a moment. If you have not gotten your tickets, Medicating Normal will be tomorrow night. We will not have Let's Talk. It will take the place of Let's Talk. They are $10. It is worth every dime. There are no triggers in that film. We'll watch the film together, and there will be a panel discussion immediately following the film. It will be amazing. So I just want to put that out there. I'm kind of in rare form. This is what happens when you don't sleep right, Sonny. Sonny and I are both up all night long. I was tired, and then I went to go to bed, and then as soon as my head hit the pillow, I couldn't even lay my happy little head down. Good morning, Stephanie. Also, don't forget that tonight, sometime between 6 and 7-ish, depending on soccer schedules, other Stephanie will be on to do Wellness Wednesday. It is a Wellness Wednesday you won't want to miss. She's got a little giveaway going on. So be part of that. And exciting news, I will put that link on there as well for y'all to get your tickets to Medicating Normal. It's right after this. I'll put that on as well so y'all can get those tickets. We need to get those purchased up. We committed to 25 of them. That movie, obviously because theaters and the issues they've had, cost them over $1 million to make. And so they make their money through private screenings. And we committed to 25 people. And we're not quite there yet, which is kind of amazing because I think this is such an important topic. But that's why we charge the $10 a piece so that they can do that. Yeah, you and Shane definitely need to hop on. You only need one ticket for both of you. It is great. It is phenomenal. And the thing that is going to be amazing is that we are going to have Dr. V on there, who does Warfighters Advanced. She was a psychologist in the military, and she talks about over-medicating our veterans and some of the alternatives that are available. And Angie, who is a combat veteran, will be on there. She is featured in the film and the struggles she's gone through. So good morning, Nakia. That is important. So, t-shirts. I ordered some yesterday. Yay for us. We'll have a few this weekend. You'll be able to see them. I'm going to make one more design change. And we're kind of rebranding where we're at. We love our veterans. Absolutely. We will always be loving my veteran. But we have become warfighters. As spouses, we are becoming warfighters. It is amazing. It is absolutely amazing what happens. Good morning to everybody. When our veterans never stop being warfighters. We've talked about this. They're programmed a certain way. They become warfighters. They have a mission. They have a battle. That's what they do. Well, when they come home, obviously they don't just turn off. It doesn't happen, and so we become their warfighters as well. We become a warfighter with our own mission. We become their new battle buddy. Sometimes they don't see us that way. Sometimes they see us as the enemy, but we become their battle buddy. Okay, we're the ones who encourage them to get the help, encourage them to get the treatment, encourage them to walk hand in hand with us, encourage them to do life with us, help them come out of the dark space. So we become their warfighters. So our new hashtag, which I think is amazing, and Michelle and I have talked about this a lot, when we help each other out, you guys need to hashtag Warfighters Fighting for Warfighters, because it may be two spouses that are fighting for the common good. It may be two veterans, warfighters fighting for warfighters, that are fighting for the common good, even emotionally. Those are the things that happen. It may be that us fighting for our veterans, that we become war fighters fighting for war fighters. It is very important that we learn to utilize that concept and change how we perceive the world as well. So it is really important that we do that. So I'm on my little soapbox, and I have to tell you a story. Nakia heard this yesterday, y'all. I fell out, completely fell out. Those of y'all who read my post know how I feel about Carl. He's like the greatest man on the planet. I just thought y'all would like to know that. If you haven't figured that out by now, I'm going to tell you that. So I made a post, and it was about me being spewing my venom. Um, and that is what caused him and I to get into it one night. Had nothing to do with him. Okay, I literally said in the initial post that it had been a great weekend. He had gone to town with me on 2 separate occasions, even went into Ulta. Can I just say that is a victory? Any of y'all who've experienced this know him going into the Chicky makeup place was a victory. We went to Sam's. There was a thunderstorm coming, so we came home. You know, that's just kind of the thing. He even cooked dinner. We watched a movie on the couch. I took a nap in his lap. It was a great day. Well, as the night progressed, the storm got worse and our phones were going off. There were tornadoes and all kinds of stuff. And I hate storms in the middle of the night. So as things progressed, we have Opie, who was our fur child, and Opie is terrified of thunderstorms. Terrified. So I heard something fall in the living room. And when I got up to go check on it, and that was one of the rare times Carl was asleep, Opie had knocked something off of my little table getting on the couch, and he was panicking. So I'm up, I'm with Opie, I'm like trying to settle him down. Carl knows I'm not in bed, and I brought Opie to bed. And so the other two were sound asleep. So I didn't bring the other two. And he's like, well, you should have brought all of them. I'm like, well, okay, but they were sound asleep. So I get up and I take Opie, the storm, and kind of settle down into the living room. And he's settling down on the couch, and Carl gets up. And when he does, the door slams. And that just totally made me jump, made Opie jump. Slamming doors were a trigger. And I began to spew all this venom. It was horrible. It was ugly. It was nothing he did. It was me. I was like, get out if you're going to act this way. And that. I mean, everything I have preached don't do, I did. Okay, I really probably need to watch a Walking in My Shoes marathon, because that night I should have just got up and watched a Walking in My Shoes marathon, because everything I preached, I did. I did it over and over and over again. All the wrong stuff. So many times. It was horrible. Well, he went in to check on me after we had said a few words. And he went in. We have this really weird layout to our house, because like our living room is actually an addition. So above my head there sits a glass window. He went in to look to see if I was asleep and check on me. And when he did, there was something in the floor, and he tripped on it, and he hit his head into the glass window, and it shattered. Well, that didn't go well. So Stacy starts spewing more venom. You broke the glass. He didn't break the glass. He's holding his head, praying to God he's not bleeding everywhere. Okay, so got to imagine this. Middle of the night, dog is panicked. Everybody's hyperventilating. The dog, me, I'm mad. Lightning is popping off everywhere. The phones are going off. Carl's holding his head. And it's nothing he did. Right? I just thought it was funny. So in one of the groups I posted the story about, we are the ones who tend to spew the venom every now and then. This lady responds to me and says, and I quote, because this was hysterical, Nikki and I were laughing about it yesterday, you were working on the information you had, that he is raging, unpredictable, and violent. Naturally, you suspected him to have broken the glass intentionally. I don't think you were wrong. You sound as if you, capital Y-O-U, have PTSD from living with him, H-I-M, all in capital letters. He has traumatized you to the point where your reactions are, has to control. If anything, it lets you know how he feels, but perhaps you can use that connection to explain to him that you understand his responses and that they are over the top. I really think you might need a joint session with his counselor or social worker, so you can both express your violent feelings and how they take hold of you. I hope he has one, and I hope he's on medication. If not, call the crisis line and keep calling till you find someone. As I stressed, he needs to quit drinking, which I never mentioned in the post. Somebody else did in their response, most of all. Take care. Don't blame yourself. He brought this war to your world, not the other way around. Okay, can I just say that set a fuel under me? It like was the catalyst that chapped my ass. Can I just say that? Okay, it was the catalyst that just chapped my ass. First of all, you don't know Carl. So let me just enlighten you. You don't know Carl. I don't think from one single post you can judge our relationship. That really chapped my ass. And I never said he was violent. I never said that. It just chapped my ass. So, Stacy, in her remarkable, never shut my mouth, no filter response, says, and I'm probably kicked out of this group. I haven't gone and looked yet, but I'm hoping this is on my new victory list. Okay? It says, it is interesting how it is interesting how people's perspectives are so different. When I made this post, it was to share something sometimes we make mistakes too, just like everyone else. That when we fail to communicate our feelings, we can help cause the explosions as well. This was not a PTSD moment, but a relationship moment. I find it interesting that so many people were willing to pass judgment towards my veteran. I clearly stated that we went to town together for 2 days, that we sat on the couch together, and that he fixed dinner. I admitted that I was the one who spewed the venom, not him. Judging someone you don't know and telling people that it is all the veteran's fault makes no sense. My veteran and I run a veteran support community that has helped countless of veterans and their families by taking a step back and walking in each other's shoes. We are real and raw and honest and try to show people that there are two sides to the story. What you don't know is our backstory. I was recently diagnosed with a terminal illness, and he is my rock. He goes through this journey with me just like I go through his with him. We are in this together. While we live with PTSD, we also live with a terminal illness. We don't let either one define us. Sometimes all we need is someone to listen, someone to vent to. We don't need medications and counseling. We just need someone who can say, I relate. So that was my little comment back. I'm sure I got kicked out of that group. I am totally sure I got kicked out of this group. And it's okay. I'm good with that because that's how I feel. What I find so empowering by this community is that, yes, we all have tough roads. Yes, we all have bad days. Yes, we all have these things going on. But when somebody makes a complaint, we're in this. I get it. I listen. I understand. We feel for you. Have you tried? This is my experience. This is what I've done. Nobody just goes in and randomly bashes people. I find that to be absurd. Now, I share mine, Carl, God, I'm sounding Southern. I share mine, Carl's story a lot. So y'all kind of know us. Those of you who are on Let's Talk with us really know us. Michelle probably knows us better than anybody because Michelle and I are personal friends, and I personally know her issues with Damon, and she personally knows my issues with Carl. We are friends. It would be one thing for Michelle or Nakia to say something to me who know this situation, right? But for somebody randomly, so be careful if you get in that random, and if you post in another group, I don't care what groups you're in. I kind of use it for entertainment purposes, can I just say? I use it for entertainment purposes. Hello, Stacy. I use it for that. But be careful. And I would really like to meet this woman who, by the way, her response to me was, I guess I've screwed up entirely again. Maybe I just need to stop giving advice or get out of this group. And I'm like, amen, sister. And I don't. I really feel sorry for her because if that is the mentality, I have a hair, sorry. If that is the mentality that she has, how are you ever going to change? How is your relationship ever going to change when you blame everything on PTSD, TBI, and your veteran. How's it ever going to get better? Tell me how that works. I'm a little confused. So this is Stacy's Soapbox. So that is one of the things I wanted to address on Stacy's Soapbox. If you're not willing to do something, we see this advice, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. They're like celebrating victories that I finally got the courage to leave him. I have yet to read one that says, I have tried everything. Nikia's in a ton of them. She knows. Nikia, how often in our histories of being on these groups when these people are like, I finally got the courage to leave him. How many of them are the ones that are on these groups that say, I've tried everything and we're not getting anywhere. We're not compatible. Our marriage is over because of marriage issues. People's marriages end. I have had a few that ended. Okay? They end. But how many people say that? They don't. They're like, I just can't deal with this. I'm not saying it's easy because it's not easy. We all know it's not easy. We all here because it's not easy. That's why we do this. We come together and talk because it's not easy. I don't mince my words either, okay? I'm just saying. I'm done. There is no filter on me. Like it, don't like it, this is the way I feel. Boom. You have no right to judge me. And when people will post even in our group, and y'all, if I've said this to you, I don't mean to be offensive. People will post in our group, and I will say, I do not believe there is enough information in 3 paragraphs for me to make a determination on your relationship. If you want to talk to me, message me. Because there's not enough information you can get in 3 paragraphs that take you through their whole journey. Okay, it is just one of those things. Look, my glasses is all messed it up today, so I'm reading this. Yes, they do. They in their, I'm telling you, you've seen some of the dumbest things. They in their nail of a new set of fingers. They do. It's some of the dumbest things you ever seen. So that's one of my pet peeves in my soapbox today. How dare you judge me? How dare you judge my veteran? Look, it goes back to the old adage. I can fight with my brother all day long till hell freezes over. But if somebody says something bad about my brother, I will beat your ass. It's one of those moments. And Team Carl. Oh my God, y'all, please don't start hashtagging Team Carl because it will not be good. But those are the things, it needs to be Team Our Warfighter. They are all our warfighters. We all stand up together for them. I'm so excited that Sarah and Shane got some treatment answers that they needed. Because I told her, message us, because if you don't, we all coming together like a bunch of banshees to fix that problem. That's where we are. We become a family and we become united in what we do. That's where we are. I won't tell you that I have not called Sonny and said, or Sonny has not called me and said the same thing. We do that. Okay, we do that. Yes, don't be in tag. Don't be not with him, please. But we do that, y'all. We do that. Because we've developed relationships. Those of us on here have developed relationships. You have to develop a relationship before you can judge people. So anyway, that was my soapbox for the day. I thought that was just like, it just totally blew. I had lost my shit. Nikia was calling to tell me something so exciting, which, by the way, I'm so excited for her. She's going on a little vacation with her hubby. I'm so excited. So she was calling to tell me her victory, and I was telling her my other victory because I done like blew up on the woman. I'm probably kicked out. I haven't tried. I screenshotted those pictures so I could read them back because I was quite sure I'm not going to be welcome over there. It is one of those things. And so that was my soapbox on that issue. My big soapbox on that issue. The second thing that I really, really, really want to talk about and share with y'all, and I'm going to do one today, so I'll post it so y'all can see it. When you go to YouTube, Y'all know that you can Google on YouTube and you can hear veteran stories, right? And they talk about PTSD and they talk about all of this stuff. I'd like y'all to do somewhere between a 7-15 minute, not much more than that, video on what it's like to be your own warfighter. What is it like to be your own warfighter? Right? Oh yeah, you're leaving this weekend. That's right, you're going on a trip. I'm so excited for you, Sarah. What is it like for us to be our own warfighters? What is it like, yeah, there were warfighters, and yes, they saw combat, and yes, they saw this. But y'all, I think the biggest difference is, and I will say this, I've said this before, I will say this again, I cannot imagine the carnage, the bloodshed, the fear, the anxiety that they lived with. I cannot imagine that. I don't want to imagine that. I think it is horrific. But the difference is they saw it, did it, felt it in combat, right? I mean, that was it. Now, granted, they brought a lot of it back and they have triggers that set them off to put them in that place again. But for us as warfighters, we live in it constantly. It is a 24/7 thing. There is not a moment, well, I won't say a moment, but there's not a day that goes by that I do not stand up for, or fight for, or get angry because somebody treats my warfighter inappropriately. Because somebody says their benefits don't matter. Because somebody says they don't get the health care that they need. Because somebody says, let's give them more drugs. Because somebody says, like Melissa, who shared with us about her husband being tased. I'm sorry. It's a good thing I wasn't in that hospital parking lot either. Because when this man is trying to get help and you're going to tase him, I likely would have been over there and beaten somebody's tail. Y'all don't know, I am a South Georgia chick and I am not afraid of a good scrap. So the difference is, we live with it all the time. So it is a different battle for us at times. So I think that is one of the things that we just, we stand up and we fight for. We've heard it go on, but we never stand up and fight, and that's where we are. So we just need to come together. We put out that message that one time, who's having issues with the VA. 200 and some letters came flooding in. But nobody wants to stand up now and say, yeah, this is where we really are. It is time we stand up and say this is where we really are. That's why I'm encouraging you guys to do these videos. I want people to know they're not alone. Those videos that they do with veterans talking about PTSD, one, they've helped me a lot. I Googled them a lot in the beginning. I think that's probably where I got some of my best understanding of PTSD from, was watching those videos. It was one of the best places that I got good knowledge from. So I think that we need to do the same. We need to talk about what our life is like. What is our day like? What are our weeks like? What is it like to struggle? What is it like? But how do we overcome that? Because here's my true belief. This is my belief. This is probably the biggest reason we formed Loving My Veteran is this. Don't come to me with a problem if you don't have a solution. Okay, it may not be the perfect solution. It can be a solution we walk on, but or even a desired outcome. Don't come to me with a problem. Okay? Don't come to me with a problem if you do not have a solution or a desired outcome. Because if you do that, all you're doing is bitching. If you come to the table with a problem and not where your desired outcome is going to be, all you're doing is bitching. We have these people who are talking about, and you're right, Nikki, the shutdown has got to be stopped. For crying out loud, Fauci now says that we can go, or the CDC says we can go outside and have a picnic if we've all been vaccinated with each other and in the fresh air, but we can't meet in each other's house, but we can go out and have a picnic. I've been doing that for a year and a half. I have probably one of the most compromised immune systems on the planet. I've been doing that for a year and a half, and knock on wood, I don't have COVID. Am I saying that it doesn't exist? Absolutely not. I'm not. Oh, and by the way, y'all know you can buy a COVID test at the Sam's Club now. Just saying. And you'll have the results back in 15 minutes. I find it amazing that you go to the drive-through clinic and they shove the thing up your nose and down your throat and everywhere else that they gonna shove the dumb thing, and it takes them 48 hours. Nope, sometimes longer than that. You can now get it at Sam's Club, take it home, and have results in 15 minutes. I thought that was interesting. Marketing at its best. So here's the problem. And COVID was a big issue here. Okay, we talked about COVID, and COVID was a problem. What was the reaction? Shut everything down. You gave us no desired outcome. Before you started treating us like cattle, sending us into Walmart like cattle, before you said everybody has to wear a mask because, I don't know, a year and a half ago, wearing a mask into a bank was considered illegal, right? I'm just saying. And y'all know government offices are still closed, but they want the rest of the world to open back up, which I find totally interesting. Oh, and now that I'm on my political soapbox, thank you, Nikki. You just had to get me started. The vice president, Miss Kamala Harris, has decided the reason she's in charge of the border, by the way, that she's not going to the border is because the risk of COVID is too high at the border. But you don't mind them marching across the border in Texas and Arizona and coming up there to where Nakia and Richard live. I'm sorry, I'm confused. If the it's not a health issue. I mean, we've heard that over and over again. It's not a health issue, right? I mean, that's what they're saying. But now the vice president put out in a statement yesterday that she did not go to the border because of the increased risk of COVID. Well, she was vaccinated. Y'all talking out all sides of your mouth and other orifices that your body has. So, and I'm getting on a political tangent, and I don't want to do that. But where I'm going is, we can't come to the table and say we have a problem with healthcare. We all know we have a problem with VA healthcare. What is your desired outcome? What is that desired outcome? Is that desired outcome to get readily available appointments? Then yes, you may not know how to get that, but you have a problem and you have a desired outcome. That is where we go. The water issue. Y'all know I'm a big fan of the water issue, a big advocate of the water issue. It literally is poisoned me. Okay? Do I expect a $2 trillion lawsuit? No. What I expect is for you to pay for my treatment and my medications that are causing me to be broke. That's what I expect. You gave me the water. I drank your Kool-Aid. Then the least you can do, that's my desired outcome. So how do we get to there? How do we get to that desired outcome? Well, I took the walk off the deep end and emailed Aaron Brockovich, and now we are well on our way to getting to that desired outcome. But where I'm going with this is, you can bring problems till hell freezes over. What is your desired outcome? How many of these people do you see in other groups that are like, well, he did it. Okay, well, what do you want? I don't want him to play his game. Well, what do you want him to do? I don't know. Well, if you don't know what you want him to do and you don't want him to play his game, then playing the game bothers you how? I mean, that's the key here. You don't want them to do something. But what is their desired outcome? I want him to go to therapy. Why do you want him to go to therapy? Because I do. Nope, not because you do. What is your desired outcome by him going to therapy? So he can handle the issues in his past. Okay, well, are those issues his issues or your issues? Well, they're his. Why do you think he needs to go? Because I think he needs work. Okay? Y'all, this is what happens. This is what happens. What is your desired outcome? I want him to go to counseling so we can work on our marriage. That's a desired outcome, sort of. Be more specific. I want him to go to therapy so he can manage his triggers. Okay, great. What triggers are we talking about, and what does he do when they go off? Okay, now you have a desired outcome. But you can't just come to the table with a problem and not either one have a solution or two have a desired outcome. So it's like the whole freaking COVID thing. Oh, well, we don't want it to spread. Okay, I get that. So we're going to shut the whole world down and not breathe, because this is a respiratory transmitted thing. So everybody just stop breathing here. I'll call him right back. That's my son. Sorry, y'all. So we'll just stop breathing right here. Okay, that's our desired outcome. That's insane. Insanity. So this has been my soapbox. I'm in a strange place in my soapbox. I'm sorry, y'all have to live with me in my soapboxes and me going off. Carl lives with me every day. Oh, and by the way, just for your entertainment purposes, don't forget, and they're not calling it a State of the Union, by the way, because I'm not sure we could even state what this union is, but President Biden, because I respect the office, so I have to put the name there. President Biden will be speaking to Congress tonight.
Every time he says, take a drink of beer.
Every time he says what?
Oh, grab a beer, and if he keeps saying, and every time he says, take a swig.
Carl says we're playing a drinking game with this. Get your drinks out and watch it for entertainment purposes. We're turning it into a drinking game, and every time he says the word you're supposed to take a sip, take a swig. And then we're going to see at what point, how many minutes into the address before we're all tore up. Okay, so just thought that would be quite interesting. So that's what we're doing tonight. We're playing the drinking game. Yeah, I'm strange. Y'all have to ignore me. Melissa's in. Sarah's got her bowl. We all good now. So drinking game tonight. Please make time that we can note the time into the event that you get too tore up to function. I'm giving most people about 15 minutes. Yes, Colleen, it is more time for your self-care when he goes away for his 8 days, and finding your self-care is important. And if you have issues with your veteran, at that point, start doing your, I'm a list fan, talk about your desired outcome. Your desired outcome. What is important? Yes, Nakia, we're going to need a couple cases of beer. I'm just ordering a keg. We're going to put it in the living room. I'm going to be self-tapping there. Anyway, I know this was a strange walking in my shoes this morning. It was Stacy's private personal soapbox. I just wanted y'all to know that. Again, I got to give these shout outs to the people who are super, super. This community is amazing. Melissa, Hubby's Creations, Husband's Creations. Make sure, I'm looking at it. It is Hubby's Creations. Order your cups from them. They're amazing. I absolutely love mine. Love mine. Because I ordered some t-shirts for us. We're going to do a May 1st event in town, and we ordered some t-shirts. We've ordered a few. I'm going to put those out. I got to make one call her right now and make one change to it, because you know me, I'm going to change my mind. And Sandy's going to look at me. She's afraid and say, Stacy, no more changes if you want them by Friday. So we have t-shirts that are out there as well. Stephanie is going to do her Wellness Wednesday. You want to tune in, and like she said, the time may be a little off, so set your alerts so that you can tune in, because she's going to do some great giveaway. I'm so excited. So we are all there. Like I said, we've ordered some t-shirts. Not real happy with the, but when you go into a place on Monday afternoon and say, hey, Sandy, I need t-shirts by Friday, you take what you get. We can take Facebook pay. Let me back everybody up just a hair. Anybody, it's a good thing you mentioned Facebook pay, Sarah. Anybody who donated to the Facebook fundraiser is getting a refund, because Facebook says that we cannot raise money for a veteran organization on a Facebook fundraiser. And so they have shut the fundraiser down, and they will be doing refunds. And I will put out today how we can do it through PayPal or Venmo once you get your refunds back. Because thank y'all for giving so much, and I was so appreciated it. But Facebook shut the whole Facebook fundraiser down. Just thought I'd share that. All right, y'all, it is late. I'm going to go post the link. It is 10 o'clock that we're going to do coffee conversation and collaboration with our dear friends at Behind the Service Podcast. They are amazing. And I will post the link in just a minute after I call my son back, who called, for the movie. Please do not forget the movie. T-shirts are coming, like I said, and we'll be able to take advanced orders so I can order them from Sandy. They've got to be done in lots of 12, so that way we're not having a lot of overhead. I'm so excited. All right, y'all have a blessed day. I'm Stacy. This has been my personal soapbox today on walking in my shoes. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye. All right, what does my son want?